and you look through the internet or you look at the TV, you see a lot of death, a lot of sickness. You see wars and you see a lot of bad stuff. It's quite depressing. You know, most of the time I find myself not even looking at TV no more. So I just try to keep it YouTube sometimes because TV just so depressing. I can't deal with it at all. So I'd be like, well, I'm going to just look at YouTube. And when I'm scrolling through, I'm still seeing the same thing. War, death, this person missing, this happened to this person went, you know, all this bad stuff. So it's like, I could see where it can be depressing to a lot of people, but we do have a bright future. Even though it don't seem like it, we actually have a bright future. And the reason it don't seem like it right now is because we're at the cusp, C-U-S-P, of the Piscean age and the Aquarian age. So in this place where we at, on the spiritual calendar, as well as the galactic calendar and the clock of destiny, which we call the natal wheel, we're in a very precarious spot. We're in a spot where astrologers like to call it critical degrees, and which basically encompass the last couple of degrees of one sign and the first couple of degrees of the next sign, like the first 4 degrees, 3 or 4, and the last 3 or 4. I'm actually born within the critical degrees of a sign. That's why I always say I'm born on the cusp. So the thing is, which is great. You know, and people be like, that's bad. No, that's great. This is why I'm so good with dealing with emergencies and stuff, because I was born in an emergency, at a time of emergency. And this is why we call it critical degrees. So right now we actually in a critical degree. We in the critical degrees. And when we passing through these degrees in the clock of destiny, the period of time between one degree to another degree is not measurable. Let's say, like, if we as a planet are on the first degree of Aquarius, to get from the first degree to the second degree of Aquarius, it may take us 5 years. But to get from the second degree of Aquarius to the third degree, it might take us 50 years. Then to get from the third degree to the fourth degree, it might take 2 years. Then to get the fourth degree to the fifth degree, it might take us 750 years. So these degrees is very complicated. And I noticed, because I've been trying to figure out all the equations. And I have been able to figure out some equations to the clock of destiny and deciphering time. That's why I was able to write a book of prophecy. I have wrote many equations in my books, but this one equation, I keep coming to the conclusion that the time between the degrees on the clock of destiny as it relates to the planetary timeline is innumerable. We can't really add it up because these are lessons. So the first degree of Aquarius have lessons. The second degree of Aquarius have lessons. And what I want humans to know is, when we talking about degrees, we actually talking about degrees. Just like when you go to college and to get your degree, then you go back to get another degree. Each degree is a lesson. They got tests. They got field work you got to do. They got homework. You got class work. You got to sit through lectures. You got to stand before the class and give lectures and bring your science fair project. These degrees are complicated. But the degrees can be deciphered through the book of Sabian symbols. I almost was finna go up and go in there in my little bookcase and get my Sabian symbol book and read the first degree of Aquarius and show y'all that these degrees actually, you had somebody that was real smart and real talented within the world of astrology, and he was what we would call a seer in the Bible. So he was a seer, or we'll call him the wise men, like the wise men that was able to find Jesus. He was like that. He wrote what every degree, and I think this is just amazing, what every degree actually mean and what the lesson is in that degree. So if I go read the first degree of Sabian symbol for Aquarius 1, it'll probably be what we going through. And then we'll see. Then we'll see that, yeah, boom, we ain't did that whole degree yet. I'm going to say, see, we just started the war part. We ain't never finished the other part yet. We still in the war. It got buku more with this that we going to have to go through in order to master this degree. So what God's system has decency in numbers. Decency in order. And the universe is comprised of numbers. Many mathematicians know that, scientists know that, and many brilliant people know that. This is why I like to come up with equations for the problems that I solve. I normally come up with equations. I got equations in my books that solve a lot of problems for people that's going to be getting it, and some of them they're going to be getting in the future. They're going to be seeing equations. You know what I'm saying? I got equations to decipher when events going to happen and all kind of stuff, because God's system has decency and order. And once you realize that, then you understand that if you study his system intentively enough and strategically enough and with enough focus, you could begin to see the order within his system. And once you start deciphering the order within his system, you could start foreseeing events that's going to happen down the road according to the order of his system. That's just like if we study in the school. Let's say we're in the classroom and we studying our teacher strategically and focused, and we really paying attention. We'll start to notice that, yeah, we take tests on Fridays, so I got to study hard on Thursday. Then we'll start noticing, yeah, but if you talk back, you're going to get suspended. They suspend people talking back. And then we're going to see a child talking back, and you can say, watch, he going to get suspended. This is the way we could foretell the future by. I'm just putting it in ways that normal humans can understand the principles that I'm throwing out there from that Solomon energy. So if we study God's system, we can begin to decipher his system. And that's what I have been able to do, as well as many other people. And this is why I know his equations to figuring out all of God's stuff. Then somebody probably would have missed that, what I said just now, because everybody's not as intelligent. So somebody raised their hand and said, you know I like people to ask questions. So in my church, I want people to ask questions, because I want to make sure everybody understand everything I'm teaching, because I don't want to have to go over it 2 times or 3 times or waste my time teaching a lesson that everybody don't understand. Life is too short, right? So I want the brother to raise his hand and say, well, how you come up with equations? I'm going to say, that was a brilliant question, bro. Pour him some coffee and get you a donut out that little box and go sit down, and then I'm going to answer the question. That's how it is in my church, right? So the reason I was able to come up with equations to events, and the way I was able to figure out that all of it have equations, January, February, March, April, remember 1, 2, 3, 4, we got order to this stuff. 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, we got order to this stuff. So if it has order, then we can figure out the order. The second way that I was able to figure out the equations within all of God's stuff, and was able to come to the conclusion that it was equations to all of God's stuff, was because the universe is based on mathematics and numbers. So numbers is what you use to make an equation, dude. So if I put numbers in a certain order, that's called an equation. Mic drop. Now you understand. So it's easy. You easily come to that conclusion that we can actually start figuring God's stuff out. And that's what God wants us to do. So the next thing that come with that is having faith in God and having a pure heart. Without faith in God, it's impossible to approach God, because you don't even believe in God. So to me, the atheist is some of the dumbest people on the planet. You know, because it's quite simple for you to understand. If we got stars and the sun up there, we ain't put that up there, so how it got up there? And is they would say that they went to the moon, but they never said they went to the sun. So my question that I would ask atheists is, who put it up there? The thing about God is this. It's impossible to understand astrology and be atheist at the same time. Mic drop, number 2. is impossible. So just studying astrology, that's why that's a part of the 77 frequency, because we building faith in God. Astrology teaches humans the order that God has in his energies and in his universe. When we look at them planets, we take them planets for granted regular people do, but not astrologers. So to astrologers, we understand that the planets is God knobs or his tuning system, that he's tuning the energies in the universe, on the planet, as well as the energies in people and in the lives of people through. So just by a planet moving a little bit this way or close to this planet will cause drastic, massive changes on the planet. When they discover Neptune was when they discover psychology and all that stuff. It's either Neptune or Uranus. And that's when we start doing psychology and stuff. Then when they discover Pluto, they start learning how to do nuclear weapons and splitting the atom and stuff. Them planets come with all kind of stuff with them. That's what I was telling y'all on the last video. I said them planets got their own stuff. Nuclear stuff go with Pluto. That's a small planet, but it's explosive. That's the planet that's responsible for life and death, man. Death and rebirth. That's the real Grim Reaper. When you start understanding that them planets is basically school teachers. That's how I see them as astrologers. The planets is teachers. And each planet teach a different lesson to people. And the way your natal chart is set up, I hesitated because I ain't really want to get into natal charts, but I'm going to just flow with how the spirit have me to talk right now. The way your natal chart is set up, everybody has a rising sign and then you have a sun sign. Your rising sign is like the background of what the other planets is set on. So all the planets that you have going to be screened through the energy of your rising sign. So we can have an exact, let's say both of us could have sun in Capricorn, but I'm a Leo rising. If you're an Aries rising, your Capricorn sun gonna be screened through an Aries rising energy. And my Leo and my Capricorn sun is screened through a Leo rising energy. So mine is different than yours. We're gonna be different. This is how precise God's stuff is when you really understand it. And it's quite incredible when you step into it. So being an astrologer helped me to have stronger faith. Just understanding astrology caused me to have a lot more stronger faith in God when I first started reading my own chart and I saw it was true. Actually live the chart that God gave you. When I used to do readings with people and I used to do their astrology chart, most of the time they used to cry and stuff. Because they couldn't believe that I could go in their chart and start telling them stuff that's deep that happened in their life just looking at their chart. But the thing is, this is how precise astrology is. So I'm just trying to show y'all something. This is why the devil took it from us. The devil don't want you to know thyself. The devil don't want us to be able to decipher the stars in the sky and the return of Jesus. The devil hated when the three wise men was able to go find Jesus by looking at the sky. He hated that. He quickly began to teach that God said we aren't supposed to look up there. The devil said, I like it when they ignorant. I like when humans don't know nothing. One of the first teachings that they used to give to the people in ancient Kemet, what we call Egypt now, was know thyself. And that's what the natal chart is all about. It's all about knowing yourself, right? Frequency. But I'm just using it to show y'all the equations, how I come up with equations and how strategic God design is. And it actually builds your faith in God. You don't lose faith in God, you gain faith in God when you start realizing we can predict what's going to happen to you by looking at the stars and the planets. You start being, well, how that work? And me and some astrologers going to look at you and say, we just told you. And you're going to be what? I'm going to say the planet. And they're going to say, tell them, Stone. I'm going to say the planets is like the knobs that's controlling the energy in the universe. Not just in this planet, but on other planets too. But on this planet and in these countries and in these groups of people, then in you personally. This is how deep it is. So God's stuff is based on decency and order. When we start to decipher some of the liberal sciences that was taken from us by the wicked one, we begin to build our faith in God, and we begin to have a better understanding of the system that God got set up. See, you need to understand, we talking about the people in ancient Atlantis. We talking about the people in Kemet. We talking about the real Israelites. We talking about David and them and all the people before them. Moses and Enoch and them. We talking about Enoch and them. We talking about the real Moors, the first Moors. Then we talking about all them brothers. Man, the Moors the one gave us astrology. Like, you got to understand, these people was brilliant. So stop asking me who made the pyramids and who made this and that, because it be getting on my nerves. I'm like, black people. And white people be looking at us like, well, y'all don't know how to make it now. And I be like, yeah, because y'all burnt the books. Mic drop number 3. Y'all burnt the books. And white people say, why is that important? Take a cup of coffee and a donut and sit down, and I'm going to tell you why it's important. Because when we go to school, they give us books. Now you understand what I'm saying? They give you a book when you go to school. The teacher makes sure all us on page 7, and she start to read the lesson on page 7. You got to have your book. So the thing is, if y'all burnt the books up, how we going to go to school? How all us going to be on the same page? I need to drop the mic again? That's why we not on the same page. Now you see. We had books. When you talking about ancient Timbuktu, the ancient libraries in Kemet. In my books, I talk about the ancient libraries in the Grand Canyon in America and Peru and stuff. See? Moment of silence. These people went all over the world burning up the books that the blacks had. And you say who? And I say the Esau beings. Esau. We blacks was the ones that wrote the books and cherished the books, because without the books, we ain't know how to make the pyramids and the vibrationals and the flying spaceships and some of the stuff we was doing. You need to come over here in South America and go look at them carvings of Lord Pakal. Go look at him. He's in a spaceship, my dude. That's what I'm telling you. You're going to see that black man in the thing, like they got the carvings of him like this, controlling that mug. Man, we was advanced. You know what I'm saying? This is how we made the pyramids and all them advanced structures. We was advanced. Then my wife said, well, what happened? And I say, y'all burnt the books. Repeat after me. Y'all burnt the books. Then white say, why we burnt the books? I said, that's another good question. Y'all burnt the books, number one, because y'all wasn't in the book. So if y'all ain't had nothing to do with the books, remember y'all was in the Caucasus Mountain when we was writing the books. So y'all wasn't in the books. They ain't had nothing to do with y'all, so y'all ain't put no respect on the books. Number two, y'all burnt the books up because the devil told y'all to burn the books up because he wanted the planet to be dumbed down. And the people that been studying with me, y'all know that we talked about it, that the removal of accurate information causes us to lower the vibration. And when our vibration's low, we begin to descend. So this is how the people begin to descend into animal-like behavior and begin to taking each other into slavery and killing and doing all kind of stuff. When, let's say, like in the times of Timbuktu and stuff, we was very cosmopolitan is the word that the Spirit gave me. We was very cosmopolitan. So you could go from France to England to Mali to Morocco to over here. You know what I'm saying? Probably to Australia, to Papua New Guinea, to ancient China. And we still was going to have scrolls that all us know how to read in all them places. And you was going to see alchemists in there with a beaker and mixing stuff, making liquid gold. We knew how to make stuff that These people don't have no idea. Go and research Greek fire. Go research that. So in the ancient cultures, we had stuff that people still don't know how to make right now. They don't have the technology to make that stuff. Like Greek fire, for instance, was devastating. We forgot how to make it. And I don't want no white people to ask me again how, because then I'm going to get upset, because I answered for my white brothers 2 times. Repeat after me. Y'all burnt the books. Y'all burnt the books. Man, imagine the tears that went down the face of black librarians. So the blacks, let's say, I'm going to say what they say in the Bible. The scribes. Black scribes. So the blacks that was in charge of penning the scrolls. Imagine the tears that ran down their face. When y'all was burning some of them libraries, man, we ran and buried scrolls. That's how they found the Dead Sea Scrolls. And just like I told y'all in one of my books, it might be in this one or it might be in the next one that's coming with the prophecies in it. Man, one day we gonna find them scrolls. I hate to tell the devil that. We gonna find the scrolls. I already saw it. So y'all think the Dead Sea Scrolls was a find. We got some finds that's gonna happen on this planet. We gonna find them scrolls. Them blacks hid them scrolls. We ain't dumb. So we seen them Esau beings coming. And the scribes grabbed the best scrolls. They grabbed the best scrolls. So we grabbed scrolls with ancient Atlantean history. We grabbed scrolls that tell you about the flying ships and all these technologies, how to make wormholes came to my mind, but I wanted to say vortexes, but the word that came up was wormholes. That's probably what we called them back then, but now we call them vortexes. We knew how to make real vortexes. It's a light. It looked like a light, but it's between 2 points, and it looked like a light. And when you step through there, you come out somewhere else. And we were so good with these things, we knew how to make it where you step in one in Egypt and you come out in Mexico. That's how good we was. Not only could we do that, but we could step in one and come out in 1920. We could step in one and come out in 1572. And we could also step in one and come out in Mars or the moon. And we could also step in one and come out in the dimension where the ant people be and some of them other creatures. Some of my brothers, some of them be looking at this and say, where that energy coming from? And I'm going to say that energy is coming from ancient Kemet. Go look on the walls again. See? So when you go look on the walls and the carvings in ancient Kemet, what we call Egypt now, you see the pharaoh. You see the pharaoh, which is a black man, probably be me or somebody, sitting there in all the good clothes, all that royal attire, and we got that vibration stick on one side, and we got that scepter on one side. And he's sitting up there like this, but on the side of him, he got one of the bird head people, and he got a dog head person, and then he got a lion head person, all them standing up like this here. This is how high the people was vibrating. So how you think them creatures was getting to the physical plane? That's what we telling you, how we was meeting them and stuff. We was actually taking that vibration stick, zapping a wormhole, then we was stepping through it, go and have dinner with the dog head people in their dimension, wherever they live at. This is how advanced the pharaohs was. And you come, we want to talk to the pharaoh, we want to talk to the pharaoh. And the people tell you, oh, he's gone, he had a meeting to go make with the, and they had a name for the dog head people. Canis Major, they had a name for him. He going to meet with them. And you was like, oh, when he'll be back? Yeah, probably a couple hours. They was comfortable with that. They was comfortable with that in ancient Egypt. And he comes stepping through laughing, drinking wine with one of the dog head people talking. That's how that civilization was. This is what I be trying to tell my humans. Why you think the dogs is man's best friend to this day? But this is what I be trying to tell my humans. I'm finna take y'all deep. But this is what I be wanting to tell my humans. Don't put us in a box and don't limit us, because God is unlimited. Keep an unlimited mind. If we figure out the order of the universe, then we can start operating at higher levels of technology. It's simple as that. If you advance, you can start driving cars, but if you ain't figured out the bike shit, how you gonna get on a car? First, you gotta figure out the bikes. And when we see you don't know how to ride a bike and we around here drag racing in cars, we ain't gonna even talk to you. You ain't on our level. That's how them creatures do. I said they come, they look, and they leave. They still going to war with each other. They very, very stupid. And we gonna talk about that in a few minutes. We're gonna talk about the warmongering again, right? But what I want to say is don't limit us. Because in ancient times, we was far more advanced than we is now before they burnt the books up. So we still had the books. We could read about the pharaoh this and this person going meeting with these people and these people and these people. Then we'll understand it ain't really nothing. And this is what I meant on the video when I was telling my white brothers when I said don't feel like it'll be mass hysteria, because when blacks was on top, we was an open book. That's why we carved them all on the wall to show white people, yeah, that's how they look. This is how the goat people look. This how these people look. The people with the eyes on their chest and stuff, this how they look. The Biminists, this how they look. We dealt with them. You know, we dealt with all these creatures. We wasn't scared of none of them. Then Esau say why, and then we pull out a vibration stick because of this. If he jump up, I zap him and turn him into a statue. See? And one of my soldiers will hit him with that hammer and crush it. And it's over for him. The pharaohs ain't nothing to play with. We got vibration sticks. So we ain't scared of none of them creatures. We'll zap any one of them. See? So when they deal with us, they got to meet us on the level and deal with us like men. And we're going to deal with them like men. And everybody have peace. I told you we make peace when we dangerous. If we ain't dangerous, it ain't going to be no peace. That's why I said when I'm in that spot, which I will be in that spot one way or another one day. It might be 20 years from now, but it's going to happen. When I'm in that spot, we going to be peaceful. But the whole world going to know that we don't play. So they ain't going to start it with us. I'm a little different than all the other people we ever had. I'm extremely peaceful. Like I say, I'm something like Modi in India. I'm like that. So it's going to be hard for people to fight me because I'm like a Solomon. I'm really like Solomon for real. So when Solomon was over India, over Israel, we ain't have no enemies. It's the same way as me. People gonna be calling me to stop fights. And when somebody jump up against me, everybody gonna turn their head because they gonna know what's finna happen. You get nuked when you play with me. So we're a peaceful country. We peaceful. But if you started with us, you out of here. And I think that needs to be the mentality that we need to have going forward. And that's basically a Baton Rouge or New Orleans mentality. That's how we is down here. That's how the Creole people is. Like, we don't play it all, but we always dangerous. That's why it's peaceful. You know what I'm saying? Because if you start something, we going to finish it. It's going to get finished with us. We don't have time to be going back and forth. We don't do all that. You know, and that's the mentality I have. Growing up in a Creole environment, that's the mentality I have. You know, the easiest way to make peace is to stay dangerous. To have that mentality. So in order to have peace from the creatures, we got to be dangerous. That's what I was trying to say. The creatures got to know that we dangerous. If we ain't no threat to them, then they going to try to enslave us. We got to bring back the vibration sticks. You know, if you've been listening to the last couple of 77 frequencies I brought forward, you know I could have went on and kept going to the vibration sticks because I almost had you there. I started telling you how to make a vortex. See, so we was right at the door. I almost started talking about the vibration sticks. They was just a little bit more and we'd have been talking about the vibration stick. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we need. You know what I'm saying? So long as we got this type of technology, in the future we will be developing that type of technology. We going forward. And the thing is, this is why I started out saying we need to have hope in the future and we need to put faith in the next generation because they're not like the old generation. We need the older generation to get out our way. We need the Piscean leaders to get out our way. Dude, y'all holding us back. Y'all whole mentality is holding us back. That we can't let them first gonna start mass hysteria, all this stupid stuff y'all put out there. When before y'all got up there, We all was dealing with everything. The Moors was dealing with everything. The Israelites was dealing with everything. The Egyptians was dealing with everything. The Asians, the Japanese, all us was. You go to any of them continents and talk to them people, and they gonna start telling you when they dealt with this, and when this came out this spot, and they was talking to the people, and then they went in the air. And we gonna tell you about that. India gonna tell you when thousands of people landed and they went and did business with them and wrote books and talked to the people, and that's our old stuff, man. Africa gonna break it down. South Africa, the Zulus gonna tell you, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Go talk to Krita Wamudawa. I don't think he's still here no more, but if he was, he definitely will break it down for you. I done saw him break it down a lot of times. Like, yeah, you know, we have done a lot of stuff. Like, we advanced. You know, he gonna let you know real quick, and then I just sit there looking at white people and hit my coffee and just roll my eyes. They like, why? I'm like, y'all holding the planet back. Y'all holding the planet back. How we gonna be a galactic traveling planet or group of people if we scared to talk about what's in the galaxy? Mic drop. We grown, dude. We gotta grow up. I can't speak for the other countries, but America ain't going. All that stuff the wicked one talking about, that ain't happening on my watch. That's over. You dealing with the Israelites, my guy. You dealing with the Israelites. We don't play that. So all you gotta do is go read Hebrews. I think it's Hebrews 11. Know what? I'm gonna read it right now, because if I just say it, then they'll act like I'm just saying anything. So I'm gonna just read the Bible and show you what it say. So this is Hebrews 11. This is Hebrews 11 chapter. I'm going to read Hebrews 11 and 34 for the church tonight. We talking about faith, right? Let's start reading it. I want to really read that faith one because it's good. So I'm going to start reading it 11 and 29. But verse 34 is the one I want us to pay attention to. But I'm going to start reading at 11 and 29. This is my family book. This King James Stewart. You know, I'm Edward Stewart. You know that. So this our book. You see what I'm saying? I'm finna read our book, the Jews, the black Jews. Finna read our stuff. All right. So Hebrews 11 and 29. By faith, they passed through the Red Sea as by a dry land, which the Egyptians are saying to do would drown. So what the brother's saying, by faith, we walked through the Red Sea like it was dry land, and the Egyptians tried to run behind us, but they drowned. They ain't had a faith to make it through, plus they ain't had a relationship with the Most High God that we had. So some of the stuff that we able to overcome, other people ain't gonna be able to overcome. Don't be shocked when I overcame gang stalking and targeting and all that. I'm an Israelite. Understand that by faith, I overcome them hurdles. Right? By faith, the walls of Jericho fell down after they were compassed about for 7 days. So we followed the direction of the Lord, and we sung praises and marched around the walls of Jericho for 7 days. And by faith, the walls was taken down by the angels of the Lord, if you remember. You know, so we didn't have to touch them. God fought that fight for us because of our faith, right? By faith, the harlot Rahab perished not with them that believed not when she had received the spies with peace. So by Rahab having faith in the Israelites and received our people in peace, I remember correctly, we put a red card outside our house so no Israelite touched her when we went through and massacred everybody else in that evil city. She made it because she believed in us. You know what I'm saying? And we believed in God, so her faith got us saved at that time, right? This is what I be telling my white friends, all my white friends, like, keep faith in the Israelites, like, stand with us. We holding God, and y'all hold on to us, and all of us gonna make it through the Red Sea. You see what I'm saying? And what more shall I say? For the time will fail me to tell y'all about Gideon, you know, and Barak, and Samson, and Jephthah, and of David also, and of Samuel and of the rest of the prophets, my dude. He said, I could tell y'all so many more stories about the faith of all these Israelites, all these legendary black dudes that came through and put in his work and did amazing stuff in the name of the Lord. You know, in the name of Yahweh. Let's keep going. He said, who through faith, they subdued kingdoms. Through faith, they subdued kingdoms. They beat countries and wars through faith. Wrought righteousness, taught righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouth of lions. The devil walk about like a roaring lion seeking who he may devour, but by faith we can stop that mouth. You see? This 34, pay attention. Quench the violence of fire, escape the edge of the sword. Out of the weakness were made strong, wax valiant in fights, turn to flight the armies of the aliens. Like, read your Bible. We talking about the Israelite. So that's what I meant. I'm an Israelite. So you got to understand, I'm an Israelite, dude. I ain't like that. Like, we not scared of nothing. We under the Most High God. This his creed. This his stuff. So this God stuff down here. And we trust him. We trust God. We not scared of that stuff. This is what we saying. Right? So we have hope in the next generation and the greatness that's going to come from them. It would be unfair if we was to not leave, let's say, money and land and weapons and food and stuff for them to work with, to build with. So we ain't trying to lose everything up or let nobody steal it up. We ain't trying to let them steal it up and put us in all them deep deficits either. And what we need to stop doing for real is buying weapons and giving them to other countries over and over again. Because we taking taxpayers' money, which I'm a hard-working man. I'm a taxpayer. Everybody know I'm a hard-working man. They taking my money and buying weapons and giving it to people to fight wars that I disagree with. So that's wrong. Number one, if we stop giving weapons to everybody, then it won't be so many wars in the world. Number two, is blood on the hands of our leaders because they keep giving them the weapons that they killing people with. That's number two, dude. If you stop giving them weapons, then they'll stop killing people. Why are you running around supporting wars all over the country? All over the world, I mean. And then number three, y'all say Social Security not solving. So y'all got to get y'all priorities straight. Why y'all keep taking taxpayer money and buying weapons to give away, but when the people come to y'all for food stamps or the people come to y'all for Social Security, or either a black brother get in there and do a righteous move like healthcare free for everybody, y'all won't get mad and march around and stuff. When this man just doing what they already doing in Switzerland and in Europe and everywhere else, healthcare free for everybody. When he see that, then he like, well, we could do that in America. If we saying we gonna make America great, let's make it great for real. Let's do what they doing in Europe, free healthcare for everybody. And then people start jumping up, we don't want people living off our stuff. Well, we don't want people shooting weapons off our stuff. Now you see, we Israelites believe in peace, bro. So we're a peaceful people, we're a loving people, and we're a faithful people, and we're a holy people. And God set us aside as a holy priesthood. So what do the priests of God look like buying weapons for this group and giving them to this group to go kill this group? Why would we be sponsoring wars? So our country got to get their priorities straight. I think we need to be spending taxpayers' money on taxpayers. So the sooner we get some of these people out of office and we get some new people in there, the better footing the country gonna be in. The younger the people is we putting in office, the better, because the new generation is different. They wasn't raised under that Jim Crow segregation energy. They probably disagree with going getting people that was trained in apartheid to come over here and participate in our system. That was like a brilliant move for the racist people because they like, we ain't even got to teach them segregation. They already been schooled in apartheid. Bring them over here. That's how racist they is. Think about what I'm saying. This is how racist they is. I mean, it's extreme. And then my people ain't willing to do what's right, even though they know what's right, but yet they go sit in church on Sundays. I think that's a tragedy because that's what Jesus meant when he said you lukewarm. This is what the Bible means when it say you had a form of godliness but denied the power. Like you carried out the religious side, but when it came time to really have faith and really have heart to do what was right, you wasn't willing to do that. The blacks have always been the moral backbone of this country, and we're going to continue to be the moral backbone of this country because we are the Israelites. You see? So we are a people that God set aside a long time ago, and God lives in the hearts of the Israelites. The second thing you need to know is, wherever the tribe of Judah is, that's where the ark is. You need to know that too. Because my brothers in Ethiopia probably got the thing we carry, but we got the spirit over here. The spirit of God say he ain't going to never leave us. Do I need to read that in Ezekiel? I think it's in Ezekiel 36. I could turn to it real quick and show y'all. God say, my spirit will never leave on the Israelite. I'll never leave Judah. God say, wherever David and them at in Judah, that's where I'm at. That's my priest and my holy royal people. You got to understand that. You know, you got to understand who we is. You see what I'm saying? So the Spirit of God is always with us. That's why America has been so blessed and prosperous. And this is why the blacks in America have always been the moral backbone of America. Because without us, man, y'all be still hanging blacks and y'all still killing blacks to this day. Y'all don't have a problem with buying weapons and giving them to other countries to go kill people. Even though the gas costs this much and a loaf of bread costs that much, and everybody know they money is going a lot, it's not stretching as far as it used to stretch. We got problems. So why are we not spending taxpayers' money to bring the prices and cost of stuff down? Bro, y'all got to understand, if I was in there, there's a lot of stuff I'd do to make it better for the people. We would actually be great for real. So it wouldn't be a campaign slogan for me, but it'll be a way of life. So, I mean, when I get in there, because one day I will be in there. When I get in there, I'm going to fix that stuff for real. See, so I'm going to get in there and really fix that stuff for real, because there's a lot of stuff I'm going to do. I'm going to get in there and be signing all kind of stuff in the law. From now on, take all them weapons and sell them to them. We don't need that. Give me that money, send stimulus checks to all the taxpayers. Bam! Hit the gavel up there. It's done. Sign the paper. We got a news brief pop on the news. Everybody getting stimulus checks today. And they like, what happened? The weapons we was about to send them warmongers right there, I took them and sold them to my peaceful people in India. You know what I'm saying? So my people in India, who I know I ain't going to use them unless somebody mess with them, I sold them to them. You know what I'm saying? So we got money instead of giving our stuff away for free with people that we know was going to use them. That's why they keep coming to us, because they keep using them over and over again. Tell their taxpayers to buy weapons from somebody. Come on, dude. Y'all got people, y'all got taxpayers just like we got taxpayers. Why we got to keep buying y'all stuff? This the stuff I want Americans to understand. I want y'all to understand the reason that politicians agree to these type of schemes, because that's what they is schemes, is because they getting a kickback. These people is getting in office and becoming billionaires, man. Going in there as millionaires, and why they in there becoming billionaires, and everybody turning a blind eye. Going in there as thousandaires, and why they in there becoming millionaires. And some of them going in there as billionaires and becoming trillionaires in front of everybody. And everybody turning a blind eye. The rich getting rich and the poor getting poor. The gap between these two classes is expanding every year that we got these people running it, that we got now, because all they doing is stuff for the rich. So they the administration for the 1%. So all white people been duped. You've been duped. They the administration for the 1%. You tell me one thing they did for the working class, and I'ma do thumbs up. Yeah, you're right. They did give a boost to minimum wage. Oh yeah, you're right. They did get stimulus checks because the price of gas out. Oh yeah, you're right. They did give free health care for everybody like Obama did. You're right. They did do that. Like, tell me one thing that we could say. But the rich could sit there, yeah, we got contracts and stuff while they was in the, yeah, that's the ones that gave us a tax cut. So my white people got duped. That's just it. You got to accept it. You got duped. You ain't nothing else to it. Until we start seeing the working class get benefits and start seeing these people show us, loved us, I'm going to speak out because we're in a country where we got freedom of speech. And I want them to know that I plan on running for office one day. So look at me as a candidate. Don't look at me as an American just talking, but look at me as an independent candidate that's kind of leaning Democrat at this time. Look at me just like that, because that's what I am. So I'm a be a candidate for the working class. You know what I'm saying? And that's who I stand for, because that's the class I'm coming from. You know, so these the people I can relate to. So I'm just like my grandfather David. I've been in the wilderness with all the people that everybody turned their back on. Everybody who got their back, you know, and people gave up on all of them, went to David in the wilderness, and I've been out there with them. You know what I'm saying? So when I do end up in Saul's spot, I still am down to earth. So I'm able to actually make America strong from the bottom all the way up. You got to think about it, man. The pyramid ain't going to be strong when you just fixing on the top of the pyramid. What about the bottom of the pyramid? So you want us to keep holding y'all up at the bottom of the pyramid, but you steady adding money and weight and gold and diamonds to the top of the pyramid, people. The pyramid getting heavier and heavier. Ask the working class. The working class is footing the bill for the country right now. Because we paying higher taxes, we paying higher prices for gas, higher prices for food, but you taking our money and buying weapons to give to other countries that's coming back donating money to your campaign. So they giving you a kickback. Mic drop. It's called corruption, right? So what's going to happen is we're going to get the new generation in there. And we got a lot of brilliant people graduating from college. I like to say that all the time. Even have graduated within the last 10 years. Many graduating from LSU, Tulane, Ole Miss, Syracuse, from UCLA, the University of Nevada, University of Arizona. We got real smart people coming from UMass. We still got MIT running around here, Harvard, Yale running around here, Stanford running around here. We got Boston College, we got Georgetown. Brilliant people coming from my Georgia. Like, come on. So this is what I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm trying to let you know, look, dude, we need to give some of them a chance. And some of them people have bright minds, they brilliant, and they not boxed in to the old traditional ways of doing things. And we don't need them to be grandfathered into the system, because that's just going to keep the present system going. We need to bring in a whole new group of people that don't know nothing about that, and they want to make America great for real. All of us agree. So all of us get in there and we want to make America great. We don't want to be grandfathered in. I don't need you to be coming in here telling me how we get $10,000 lunches from this lobbyists and this from now. I don't care about them lobbyists. All us coming in saying we're going to vote to get lobbyists out of there. We don't need other countries spending dark money to buy influence in our country. This is the problem, right? So lobbying money is one of the problems. What I want Americans to understand, when George Washington them set this thing up, they ain't set it up with no lobbyists. So you have these crooks and these corrupt creeps and these rogues that's up there highlighting and playing like they politicians and stuff, but they really just crooks, if you ask me. They getting rich and they using the office to be rich and on the backs of the American workers. I said was they take taxpayer money and they buy weapons. And then they give the weapons for free to some people over there in another country. And then those people have lobby groups that donate millions to that politician's campaign. And it's a never-ending cycle. So the taxpayers is actually paying the money that's getting gave back to him. So what they saying is these weapons gonna cost $100 million, but we can lean on America. We can get them for free, and then I could just get the politician $10 million instead of getting $100 million. We can get the weapons for $10 million. Then the politician get the $10 million in his pocket, but he been and bought the weapons with taxpayer money. Then every year we look up, they sitting in front of Congress. Yeah, we need $17 billion for weapons, and we like, why? We just bought weapons last year. Yeah, but we need more. Why? We ain't fighting no wars. So why we need more? Then you got the brother running around here. How bad our country been duped, it frustrates me. Because if we had any understanding and we can just hear, we can hear the foolishness coming out these people's mouth. Man, you got this dude running around here talking about, I talked NATO into buying more weapons. Like, dude, you setting us up for World War III. That ain't nothing to brag on. If we had a NATO that didn't want to buy weapons, that's good. We don't need weapons. Why do you want everybody to be armed to the teeth on the planet, knowing it's a powder keg? Why do you think that's smart? Dude, you 80-something years old. You're not going to even be here when all them wars go down. You making it bad for the young generation. I just said we got to leave them a planet to build on. Just like a planet was left to you. So why you running around here promoting wars and getting weapons to these people and talking them into getting weapons and then telling them they can't have weapons while people bombing them over and over and threatening them? Why you think that's fair? Oh, I forgot, because lobby groups pay people. Mic drop. I forgot, we going there as millionaires and we turn into billionaires. Then our family become billionaires. Then other people become trillionaires. And this is what's going on. It's sickening. This is why I want to reach out to some of the people that got the power to start grabbing and scouting some of these young people and start getting us in them spots, dude. So you could filter in fresh water to clean the filtration system and get all that filth out of there. And all the people that been in there 20 and I've been here 30 years, and I'm like, that's the problem. The planet, the country been in decline for the last 30 years, so you really ain't do nothing in there, dude. That ain't nothing to brag on. It's time for new people. If you've been in there 30 years, it should be about time for you to say, okay, I had my fun, I passed laws, did my thing. I'm going to get some of these young people from the University of North Carolina. I'm going to get some of these young people from the Utah Utes, or some of my people from the University of Washington. I'm going to give them a chance to get in there and see and let the new blood come in here with the new ideas. It ain't always our turn, bro. It come a time when it's time for the new generation. We haven't even used the new people at this point. But the thing is, God gave all the new ideas to the new people. Do I have to go in this Bible and show you when Jesus said we don't pour old wine, new wine in old wine skins? I think I might have to go read this right now. What y'all think? I could just say it, or do I really need to go find this? Because I don't know where it's at, and I'm going to be turning, and it's going to take me off the subject. Jesus say you don't pour new wine in old wineskin, because he say what it's going to do is going to tear the wineskin. And then Jesus said nobody that been drinking the old wineskins immediately say that the new wine is better, but they say the old wine is better. So basically what he's saying is all the older people, they going to say the way that they doing stuff is better. We liked it how we was doing stuff. We liked it how we was doing stuff. But Jesus said, when I call for the new stuff, It's the new stuff. See, we going into Aquarian, dude. So this not Pisces no more. So it don't matter how y'all felt about the Pisces oil. I'm going to keep talking. I ain't going to look for it, but one day I'm going to read that for y'all. But we going into Aquarian, so the Pisces wine ain't no good for us. The new generation don't want that. We getting frustrated. So we don't want that wine y'all been drinking, dude. We want the new stuff. We don't want that old stale stuff. Why don't y'all just go and take and retire and go play golf and enjoy yourself? Like, why would I be wanting to deal with government at 70 and 80 years old? Why would I still even be trying to deal with that stuff? Like, at that age, I'm going to be telling people, man, it's your turn. I done had my fun already, man. I'm finna go play golf. I'm finna chill with my girl. I don't got time for this. I got grandchildren. I'm finna be with my grandchildren, riding horses and motorcycles and stuff. Like, I ain't got time for this, dude. You think I want to deal with politics and the headache of this stuff for the rest of my life? This supposed to be the attitude of our politicians. This was the attitude of the founding fathers, man. I want y'all to know that George Washington could have been the king. Everybody asked him to be the king. I always remember that. I want y'all to make sure y'all remember that, because if George Washington would have been the king, then the Washington family would have still been up there. And remember, I said I'm a war. I want y'all to keep remembering that. The Washington family would have still been up there, dude. It wouldn't even be them people that's up there now. We don't vote. Ben Franklin them even knew that. Ben Franklin them say, we don't vote George Washington house today. You the king, bro. Ain't no vote in this. You see what I'm saying? We don't do that. You the king, Washington. He turned that spot down, dude. So I'm just trying to show you that George Washington and them didn't set up a system where people be moonlighting up there at 80 and 90. Like, we ain't set that up. George Washington did his little term, got on his horse and rode off into the sunset. They begged him to be king, dude. They begged him. The man said, no, I'm finna go to my farm and chill with my girl. It's your turn. We still got Ben Franklin. We got Thomas Jefferson. We got a lot of brilliant people. We got little Abraham Lincoln. He brilliant. We got other people that I need to see up there. So it ain't my turn no more. It ain't my turn no more. So it ain't your turn forever, bro. It ain't your turn to say for the next 30 years it's always me. Like, no, man. What we got people going to LSU for if they ain't gonna never get a turn? What about my people at Southern? What about Texas Southern? What about Florida A&M? What about Florida State Seminole? What about my people at Florida State? What about North Carolina State? What about Georgia Tech? What about Tennessee? So them people don't never get a chance. What about Arkansas? When they get a turn? When is Arkansas State turn? When one of them get to be a senator? When is they turn? So what is they going to college for if we don't never vote for somebody from Baylor or TCU? We keep putting the same people over and over and over that has shown us that they're inept. They already rich. So they done took enough lobbyist money. Like, how much money you want, dude? The lobbyists done gave you millions, bro. Some of y'all done became billionaires in there. A couple of them became trillionaires. And like, come on, dude. So politicians in America and politics need to be musical chairs. Every couple of years, we need to change it out and put a new group of people in there. And then we'll be running a new playbook. And we'll be playing with the new stuff. Just like we brought in Lane Kiffin. See, we trying to win. We brought in Lane Kiffin. We ain't playing. So we ain't going to keep running the same old stuff. That's for all the people that got to play LSU. We got Lane Kiffin now. Know what I'm saying? So we ain't going to keep running that old stuff, man. We bringing in the new stuff. We bringing in the new stuff. Just like when I used to be wearing Jordans all the time. We wanted Jordans every week. Whatever the new Jordans was, that's the one we wanted. People looking like, man, them the old ones. I got the new ones that came out this Friday. You see, we want the new stuff. This is why Jesus said you can't pour new wine in old wineskins because it's going to tear. Jesus said, see the energy I put in little Solomon and little Stone? See the little energy I put in him? He said I couldn't put them in them old people because it was going to tear them. It was going to tear their mentality. Their mentality couldn't receive it. Now, it's some older people that's built for this, like Bernie Sanders. They got a few of them that's built for this, that already be talking like the young crowd be talking. That's why the young crowd like him. That's why the young crowd vote for him, because he talk like we talk. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. We want to make it for the working class. We the people. We the people. What happened to the Tea Party? I think I'm going to run with the Tea Party. You know what I'm saying? The Tea Party make a party. I'm running with the Tea Party. I'm going to be a Tea Party candidate. Because I want to be the we the people. I want to be one of them that's coming in there with the contract with America, the we the people. We about to redo everything. And we going to look at everything we doing. Wait, what we giving them $10 million for? Oh, we this called soft power. Boy, we don't care about soft power. We ain't under that PHARISEES stuff. Get that to the taxpayers. I'm going to be giving everything to the taxpayers. All of a sudden, America going to be rich. I want Americans to remember when I said my campaign slogan and my goal is that American people become rich. All of us. I'm trying to make America free. So my goal, my mission is to make everything free. And once I set that blueprint to rolling, that's going to be the blueprint we're going to be going with. We're going to bring the prices of everything down. I'm going to get water down to $50 a person, then to $25. It's going to be almost free. Then I'm going to have electricity free. All you got to do is pay for the trucks to come set it up for you. And we just pay for the upkeep, $25 a piece, but we don't pay that no more. Electricity is free. Some of them country companies going to be mad. But like I told them, they got to step into the age of Aquarius. Don't get mad. You can't keep making money off old technology that we grew past. Just reform and step into the new technology. That's all we need you to do. So you go from making your money with that and start making your money with microchips, because that's going to be the new stuff. Stop making money with that and start making money with artificial intelligence, because that's going to be the new stuff. You stop making money with that and start making the flying cars, and you can start making money with that. You start making the batteries for the flying cars, and you're going to start making your money. You start making the cars that go off solar panels, and you're going to start making your money. This is what we're saying. You just got to realign. It's the Aquarian energy. So many companies going to collapse and be brought down, and many new companies going to come up and get rich. But at this point, I've been going a long, long time on that wisdom of Solomon. I pray that this energy that I dropped, this vibration that I put out there was enough to spark the minds of the next generation, even some of the college students, that they would start believing in themselves that they can actually make America great for real. That slogan don't belong to one person, but it belongs to all Americans. We should all be trying to make America great. And not great again, because it never was great in the past. We're trying to make it great. Or if we say the great America, it was before all them people came over here when everything was free. Right? So I'm trying to make America free. So I'm trying to make America where everything's free. And if you start paying attention to how I talk, you can start seeing how I'm going to start getting them numbers there. I'm going to boost up minimum wage. I'm going to cut back on money that we giving other people, and I'm going to start spending that money on us. People like NATO, I'm not going to be giving them as much money, and they not going to be giving each other money, because we're going to be a peaceful group. Just like the Europeans wanted to do at first. I'm that type of leader. I'm going to be going over there like, how much y'all spending on weapons? 5%, start spending 2%. Let's set a goal to not fight any wars. And I'm the leader to go meet with everybody. So I'm the one that'll go meet with this one, then go back and meet with NATO, then make all of us come sit and drink coffee together. Because I want to show them all the humans need to stick together. We need to start preparing ourselves for the creatures that we're going to run into in the age of Aquarius that's going to be, how we say it in the black community, they're going to be disagreeable. Right? Every age, every section of the sky got their own creatures. So the Aquarian section of the sky got a different set of creatures than the Piscean section got. So we finna run into a different set. You know, Piscean was a water energy, so it had creatures that love the water and stuff. But now we finna run into the Aquarian, these air energies. So we gonna run into the creatures that live in the air, that live on ships that be in the air all the time. So it's gonna be way different. So the people on the planet got to start preparing themselves to face these type of creatures, and I'm going to be one of the leaders that's in position when this stuff come up. That's why I said I'm going to come in with the vibration sticks, all kind of stuff. And we're going to start back traveling. Remember, I was talking about the vortexes and all that, how we going to create doors to go here and go there. So we ain't gonna need the airports no more, because we're gonna be traveling like we was traveling in ancient Kemet, when we was just zapping it with a door and just step through there and step out in Argentina, then step in Argentina and step out in China, shaking hands, drinking tea. Then we step in, and then I step out in Paris, and I'm sitting out there with my people eating croissants at a cafe, talking to a beautiful woman. You know how I do it. Until next time, sell out.